What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'll admit I've been MIA, but we're back today to talk about the Googan Gold series rod. Don't back up, don't stop, delete. I'm not a promoter. I just want to tell you about this rod. I've got their reaction rod for cranks and chatterbaits. So if any of their rods is going to produce, it's got to be this one, because those guys live and breathe a chatterbait. I swear to God. I don't have a lot of water to work with right now. I'm in Michigan. We're froze up tight. So I'm going to throw it on the ice and then let you know my first impressions on it. Then we're going to get close to the rod, take a look at some of the details, tell you what I like, don't like, the goods, bads, and the uglies, and go from there. Hope you guys want to come along, take a look at this rod, let you know what it's about, and have some fun. Alright, y'all, as you can see, it's froze up tight out here. But I'm going to go out here and toss it around, look silly a little bit, but hey, I like to fish, so don't judge. Let's walk out here. I don't know. Ooh, almost broke my rod in half. Alright, we're just going to take a little bit of a walk, just walk a little bit farther and call it a day. We're starting out with the chatterbait. That's all I'm going to throw today, just so it doesn't get hooked up and everything. Got with this Daiwa Tatula, the new Tatula. We'll talk about that another day. Today is all about Googan, baby. All right, y'all, we're here. We're gonna toss it. Got it on the Tatula, like I said. We got some braid to a leader. I think I'm running 40. It might be 30. I can't remember. 30 or 40. I'll check. But we're gonna toss it and see what it performs. I mean, the action of the rod is a little stiffer than I thought for a reaction rod, because they're claiming that it's all about their cranks. But I think it's got a little more power than that. I think it's gonna be more of a chatterbait rod, if anything. But we'll throw it. Let me see how I like its cast. Ooh, slings. Slings a mile, but that's just a tossing. Let me see if I can get a bite. Just hold it still. This is the time of year you gotta work it slower. Get those ice fish to barrel up and through. So far, I'm kind of liking it. Trying to underhand. Feels pretty good. I got wind to my side here, so if it's me dragging out towards more of the open water. But so far, feels really good. See, wind's pulling it. But I had aimed this cast significantly to the right. I'll give it a couple more times before I decide that's the rod tip. I've thrown this rod a little bit in the backyard, but not too much. And this reel feels great, if anything. Let's see what this rod tip. This rod tip is. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. Let's move up out of the. There we go. If you guys see it, but this rod tip is dancing back here. So it's got a soft tip. She's got a soft tip. I mean, it's not crazy by any means. Let's bow her up. I mean, it's got a little bit of bend in her. It's a little bit faster than I thought. Feels really good. Wish I could get her onto the water to feel how this chatterbait's working it. But I feel like with this, how much this tip is bouncing right now. Let's see if we gotta get a better look. Look at that. This is just jerking, you can see. I mean, this tip is pretty limber. I think it'll handle a square bill pretty good. I really like my rod to be pretty moderate for a lipless, so we'll check it out, but I'm not gonna be guaranteeing anything. So far, it's been pretty nice. I'm not really trying to cast for distance or anything. I'm just trying to cast for target. See if I can do anything here. Sling it. I feel like definitely if you get under it, you're a little more accurate to cast, especially in the winds, at least right now. That's just general casting information. as of right now, everything feels good. Like the grip feels good. I know they spent a lot of time right there. You can see how that's meant to feel, just to get my hand in there. It just feels really good. You got your ring finger and your pinky, and you got your middle finger up above, and then I put my index finger up under the grip there. Feels good. I don't know if it's as good or as elite as they're saying it is. I mean, feels good, but I'm not saying like this is like, oh my god, I'd never want to grip any other way. It's just kind of standard. And then the back grip, I wish the butt section was just a little bit longer. I like a little bit of a longer butt section. Kind of like a Shimano Zodius, how it's got more of this up in here. Well, their old version, this new one's monocoque, but their old one kind of like went up a few inches up the rod. I like that better. I don't really like fighting styles, but so far it feels good. I think this thing is gonna do pretty well. Just wanted to get it out here and cast it a few times for you guys, and to get out of the house and not ice fish. I mean, I just don't like it. But again, the rod tip feels pretty limber, but it's not too soft. Like I said, it's probably going to be more of an in-between chatterbait crank rod. I don't want to bust it, high stick it. But she's got a little bit of a moderate bend, a little parabolic, compared to a traditional fast action. Ooh, I'm in the snow. Let's see if I can... Oh, no, you can't fix it. I mean, it feels good in the hands. I wish this here wasn't so much plastic. It's just kind of getting my finger, but that's just little personal opinion type stuff. And then this, I am not a fan of this right here, just because, I mean, it tells you what you can do, but it kind of gives you the idea that you can do other things, which I don't think you necessarily can. Good, how you doing, man? Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Got another buddy heading out there, get some ice, get some good fish. All right, just a couple more casts and then we're gonna head back and kind of get close and personal with this thing, just so you guys can see some more of the features. I think at this price point you are getting a solid rod. I think they lack the guides for sure, but I think for overall you're getting a solid rod at this price point. I mean, everyone is in love with a Dobbins Fury at $100, and I've got one of those. I got their crank rod, 705 CB. I really like that rod, don't get me wrong, but I do think that there are better rods in the class of $99. I think the grip on that rod it wears out quick. I think the action is not as supreme as some people say, but don't get me wrong, like I said, I love that rod. It's a good rod at 99 bucks. But there's some better options, and this might fall into that category for you. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but I would definitely jump up into this Gold Series. Just go for the best from Googan. It's not that expensive to get it done. Get your mom to buy one and just call it a day. But don't just knock it just because it's Googan. I mean, Catchco is a company that is known for baits. I mean, they're Carl's Bait and Tackle. They speak, breathe, and live fishing. So I'd expect them to know what they're doing. And I mean, these guys fish. People follow them because they fish and because they're a personality. So I'm going to take their word for it that they know how to fish, especially from the content I've seen. So, all right, enough of me yapping. Let's get inside and take a look more at the features on this rod before we call it a day. All right, y'all, we're back in the dojo. We're still trying to set up in here, so we're kind of in the corner again. But we're going to talk about this rod. Kind of want to touch again on this better lighting, on this little feature they have here that kind of like breaks down what this rod can do. Reaction at 4, twitch at 2. You can kind of get the idea. I just wanted to touch this on again. I wish they did this a little bit differently. Again, it just gives the angler a little bit of a disservice, kind of gets them to think that maybe this rod can throw finesse, or to try finesse to encourage other baits. I think that's great, but in the long run I think this is going to deter younger anglers from other baits. Say I'm trying to throw a finesse Shakyhead on this and I'm just not liking it. Now I'm not throwing a Shakyhead because I don't think I like it, but maybe it was the rod itself, and I think this is it. So when it comes to that, I would omit maybe the finesse, or I mean, if you can throw a twitch bait, great. But I mean, I think it's a little unrealistic. I mean, 2 at twitch, 2 at finesse. What does that even mean? were you afraid to put 1 on here just because it would make your rod look bad? I would have rather have seen a 1 so I would know, hey, don't do that. Don't try it because you're probably not going to like it. That's just my personal opinion. Again, it's a cool idea for younger anglers, but I just think it does a little bit of a disservice and a false sense of comfort for certain baits. Moving back into this hook keeper, you can see the design here. It's kind of got a couple bends to it. It's kind of unique, but it's pretty simple. Instead of trying to dig your hook in there, you kind of just push it up and through. I think that's nice, but again, not my ultimate favorite. I think I kind of scratch my blanks up over time doing that. But nah, no big deal. Kind of got a lot of little gold accents, like you guys know. Got a reaction on here, lets you know what it is. The gold flakes in the handle are a pretty nice touch. I'll say when this thing comes to looks, it's really nice. There's a lot of rods at this price point that really don't look all that nice just because they have more expensive equipment to try to encourage you to get it. I think they did a good job of making a rod like this appealing, and especially not even being $150. It's really appealing, and it looks like it's going to be a nice rod. Again, more of their design. They kind of really did a lot of work on the handles there. You can see how it's contoured to fit your hand, like I had mentioned earlier. It's nice, feels good in the hand, but it's not a be-all end-all for me. I think it feels good, but I've had other rods that felt just fine without it. And personally, this arch right here, I don't like that I can feel it. I can feel that it's there, and then it kind of distracts me from the bait that I'm using just because I can feel something bunching up against my fingers. Again, personal opinion. They got the Googan Squad emblem right there, just so you know who it is. They got Googan Squad down here. They got Googan Squad over there. They got Googan Squad back here. You know it's a Googan rod, and then they even got this Googan Squad fingerprint on it. I mean, more Googan, just to let you know it's Googan. Don't forget, they got Googan Squad on the butt, just so you know it's Googan. It's pretty cool. I mean, they're definitely not afraid to let you know you're in a Googan rod. Other than that, guys, it's got a pretty nice finger grip here. I like that on a caster that's not too long and kind of gets in the way. I think this is a perfect size for most hands. Perfect for mine anyway. It feels good in the hand. I had mentioned earlier that this just feels like a little bit too much plastic. I still think that. I just think it's a little bit too much plastic. But maybe that's how they had to go. I think they did a really good job of having the blank come out of the reel seat. A really good job at that. There's a lot of rods out there that don't do a good job at that. I mean, Shimano Corrado, the Corrado rod, it's just like it comes out sideways, I think. Just doesn't do a great job. Take a look at some of your rods, your lower end price point rods, and see how the rod is coming out of the reel seat. You'll see some gaps in there. And I'm glad they paid attention to that. It's a small detail that I look out for. Kind of moving into the guides. These aren't very high-end guides, but they definitely get the job done at this price point. I would like a little bit more attention to it. I'd pay a little bit more for better guides. Some of these lower end guides, they're just coated, and the exterior peels off. I haven't noticed that yet, but I put my rods in a rod sleeve every time I'm done. And over time, these lower end guides kind of feature a wear mark right here on each side where the sleeve actually connects with the guides. Not bad, but it's just a cosmetic thing that I don't like. Got a number of guides. I think there's 9 on here. 3, 6, 9. Oh yeah, 9. So there's plenty of guide for your line to cast smoothly without slapping against the blank. I like that they paid attention to that at this rod. I mean, there's a lot of times there's a rod at this length and size, you only get 8 guides, and that can become problematic. Other than that, I mean, they got your details on the rod, 7.2 moderate right there on the back. I'll show you that a little bit again. But I do have a question. Where is the lure rating? I think anglers at this caliber who are looking at this, are looking at Googan, are kind of a younger class category, which is completely okay. But give them an idea of what type of bait to throw on it, or what weight to throw on it, rather. I mean, you're giving them an idea of what works or what doesn't work, kind of. I need to see what rates this can throw. Does it throw 3/8 to a half? Does it throw a quarter to a half? Does it throw a quarter to 3/4? They kind of need an idea, because I think it's easier to try different baits with a rod than to understand what type of weights a rod can handle, if that makes sense. So that's just a small thing. They gotta absolutely put that on here. Omit one of the Googan Squad logos and put on your lure rating. It's really important. Other than that, guys, the last thing I'll mention is the reel seat itself. It clicks. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, it feels like I'm gonna break it. Or, I mean, why does it click? Is there a reason for it? Is it just a cosmetic thing? Is it just so you can feel like it's doing something cool? I don't know. Personally, to me, it's not anything that I need. I think it was a little weird, but not bad. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, guys, so that's the Googan Gold series. Again, I apologize for not being able to get underwater with you guys for this, but that's coming. We're thawing soon, and we're going to go from there. Googan Gold series, chatterbait crank rod. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. These are my impressions. Hope I gave you guys an idea of what you can do with this rod and what are the things that you shouldn't do with this rod. If you've used this rod, more importantly, let me know down below what your thoughts on it. What do you love about this rod? What do you not like about this rod? And what are your opinions that I haven't even mentioned? Because there's always different things to talk about when it comes to your gear. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.